Story 1. It wasn't supposed to feel like that. It was just a festival. Music, food, people everywhere. Nothing about that night should have stayed with me this long. My name's Jason Alvarez, and this happened last Cinco de Mayo in San Diego, where the streets fill up fast, where everything feels alive, loud, bright, until it doesn't. It started normal. Honestly, perfect. Friends, drinks, streetlights glowing, music echoing from every direction. You could barely move through the crowd. At first, nothing seemed wrong. Just people laughing, dancing, shouting over each other. The kind of chaos that feels fun when you're inside it. But then, something shifted. It wasn't obvious, not at first, just a feeling. Like the noise wasn't random anymore. Like it was moving in patterns. I remember standing near a food truck, waiting for tacos, when I noticed it. The same group of people passed by me 3 times. Same clothes, same faces, same exact movements. I frowned. Didn't they just walk past? I muttered. My friend laughed it off. Dude, it's crowded. Everyone looks the same tonight. Maybe he was right. I told myself that too. But then, I saw them again. Same group, same direction, same pace. My chest tightened just a little. Okay, that's weird, I whispered. I turned to follow them, just for a second, just to confirm. But the moment I moved, they were gone, completely gone. No crowd gap, no direction change, just gone. I stopped walking, my stomach tightening slightly. All right, maybe I'm just tired, I said. But something felt off now. The music, it sounded different, still loud, still rhythmic, but slower, like it was dragging slightly. I looked around. People were still dancing, but not naturally. Their movements, slightly delayed, slightly out of sync, like they were following something I couldn't hear properly. My chest tightened more. You hearing that? I asked my friend. Hearing what? He said. I didn't answer, because I didn't know how to explain it. Then I noticed something else. The lights. The string lights above the street. They were flickering, but not randomly, in sequence, one after another, like something was passing through them. I followed the pattern, my eyes tracing the flicker, until it stopped, right above me. My breath caught. No, I whispered. The music cut for a split second, just silence, then came back, louder, deeper, heavier, and that's when I heard it. Not from the speakers, not from the crowd, something else. A voice, soft, close, stay. My chest tightened hard. I turned immediately. No one there, just people moving, laughing, completely unaware. Did you hear that? I asked quickly. My friend shook his head. You good? I didn't respond, because I wasn't sure. I stepped away from the crowd slightly, needed space, needed air. But the further I moved, the stranger it felt. The street didn't look the same anymore. Same decorations, same stalls, but stretched, like the distance between things had grown. I walked faster, trying to reach the main exit. I knew where it was. I had passed it earlier, but when I got there, it wasn't there anymore. Just more street, more lights, more people. My chest tightened painfully. That's not right, I whispered. I turned back, tried another direction. Same thing. The streets looped, not physically, but visually. Like no matter where I walked, it led back into the festival. The same stalls, the same music, the same faces. And then I saw them again. That same group, walking, same direction, same pace. My stomach dropped. No, I whispered. I followed them this time, closer. They didn't react, didn't acknowledge me, just kept walking, until they stopped, all at once, in the middle of the crowd. Then, slowly, they turned, toward me. My breath caught. Their faces were wrong, not distorted, just empty, like expressions were missing. You stayed, one of them said, but the voice, it wasn't coming from just one of them, it came from all of them. At the same time, my chest tightened hard. "I'm leaving," I said quickly. They didn't move. "You're already here," they replied. The music dropped again, slower now, heavier. The lights flickered in sequence again, this time closer. I stepped back, turned, tried to push through the crowd, but people weren't moving normally anymore. They were blocking, not intentionally, but their movements created walls, patterns. I couldn't get through. My breathing got faster. "Move," I muttered, but they didn't. Then I felt it, a hand on my shoulder. I froze. Slowly, I turned my head. No one there, but the pressure remained, firm, real. "Don't leave," the voice whispered again. My chest felt like it collapsed. I pushed forward harder, forced my way through, and suddenly I broke through, out of the crowd, into an empty street. Silence, complete silence. The festival gone. No music, no lights, no people, just empty road. I stood there, breathing hard, trying to process it. "What?" I whispered. I turned around. The street behind me, normal, just a quiet road, no sign of anything, like it had never been there. I didn't wait. I walked fast, then ran, back to my car, drove home, didn't look back. I didn't go out again that night, didn't answer calls, didn't explain anything, because how do you explain that? But here's the part I can't ignore. Every year, when Cinco de Mayo comes around, I hear it again, that same music, faint, distant, like it's coming from somewhere I can't see. And sometimes, when I'm in a crowd, I notice people moving in patterns, repeating steps, and I catch myself wondering how many of them actually left, and how many are still there, still walking, still looping, waiting for someone else to stay just a little too long. And honestly, I don't go out on Cinco de Mayo anymore, because something tells me that place doesn't show up for everyone. It shows up for the ones who notice it. And once you do, it remembers you. Story 2. I thought it would just be a normal party, loud music, cheap drinks, people packed into a backyard celebrating Cinco de Mayo like every other year. But that night didn't feel like a party for long. It felt like something else entirely. My name's Derek Lawson, and this happened in Phoenix at a house party a friend invited me to. Nothing fancy, just a crowded place with string lights, music blasting, and way too many people you don't really know. It started normal, honestly, nothing strange at all. People laughing, dancing, shouting over each other, the usual chaos. At first, nothing seemed wrong. I grabbed a drink, found a spot near the back of the yard, and just watched everything unfold. That's when I noticed something small, something easy to ignore. A guy near the fence, standing still, not talking, not moving, just watching. I didn't think much of it. Some people just hang back. But then, a few minutes later, I saw him again. Different spot, same posture, same stillness. My chest tightened just a little. Did he just move that fast? I muttered. I looked around. The crowd was thick, people constantly shifting. Maybe I just lost track. But then, I saw him again, near the patio this time. Same position, same stare. My stomach tightened slightly. "Okay, that's weird," I whispered. I grabbed another drink, tried to ignore it. Focus on the music, the noise. But the longer I stayed, the more things felt off. The music, it sounded stretched, like the beats were slightly slower than they should be. People were dancing, but not in rhythm, more like repeating movements, same steps, over and over. I frowned. "You seeing this?" I asked my friend. "Seeing what?" he said. I didn't answer, because I wasn't sure how to explain it without sounding off. Then I noticed something else. The lights, the string lights above us. They weren't just flickering, they were dimming in sections, like something was passing through them. My eyes followed the pattern, from one side of the yard to the other, until it stopped, right near me. My breath caught. "No," I whispered. The music cut for a split second. Silence. Then came back, louder, deeper, heavier. And that's when I heard it. Not from the speakers, not from the crowd. A voice, low, close, stay a while. My chest tightened hard. I turned immediately. No one there, just people moving, laughing, unaware. "You good?" my friend asked. I nodded quickly. Yeah. But I wasn't. Something felt wrong now. I stepped away from the crowd. Needed space, needed air. I walked toward the side of the house, where it was quieter, darker. And that's when I saw him again. The same guy, standing near the back gate, still, watching. My chest tightened more. "Hey," I called out. No response. He didn't move, didn't react, just stood there. I stepped closer. "You good, man?" I asked. That's when he moved, slowly, turning his head, just enough to look at me. My stomach dropped. His face, it wasn't right, not distorted, just empty, like something was missing. "You're late," he said. My chest tightened hard. "Late for what?" I asked. He didn't answer, just stared. Then, the music behind me shifted again, slower, heavier. I turned instinctively. The crowd was different now. People weren't talking anymore, just moving, repeating motions, same gestures, over and over, like they were stuck. My breath got shallow. "What's going on?" I whispered. I turned back to the guy. He was closer now. I hadn't seen him move. "You weren't supposed to notice," he said. My chest tightened painfully. "Notice what?" I asked. He tilted his head slightly, slow, deliberate. "The loop." My stomach dropped. "What loop?" He didn't answer, just stepped back, and suddenly, the gate behind him was open. I hadn't seen it open before. My chest tightened. "I'm leaving," I said quickly. I walked toward the gate, fast, not running, but close. I stepped through, and everything went quiet, completely quiet. No music, no voices, nothing. I turned around. The house was gone. Just an empty lot. No lights, no people, no party. My breath caught. "No," I whispered. I stepped back, looked around. The street, unfamiliar, darker than it should be. I pulled out my phone. No signal. Of course. I started walking, fast, trying to find something, anything familiar. But the street stretched, longer than it should. Houses didn't look right. Windows dark. No movement. My chest tightened more. "This isn't right," I whispered. Then I heard it, behind me. The music, faint, distant. I turned, and there it was, the party, back again. Lights, people, noise, like it had never disappeared. My stomach dropped. "No," I whispered. I stepped back slowly. The music got louder. The lights flickered again, and the crowd moved in the same patterns, repeating, looping. The guy was standing at the gate again, watching me. "You can go back," he said. My chest tightened hard. "Or you can stay." I didn't answer. I turned and walked away. Faster this time, not looking back, not stopping, just moving until the music faded, until the street started to look normal again. I don't know how long it took. Minutes, maybe longer. But eventually, I found my car, exactly where I left it, like nothing had happened. I got in, drove home, didn't look back. The next day, I asked my friend about the party. He looked confused. "What party?" he said. My chest tightened. "Last night. Cinco de Mayo, your friend's place." He shook his head. "I didn't go anywhere last night." I didn't argue. I couldn't, because part of me already knew. But here's the part that still messes with me. Sometimes, when I'm in a crowd, I notice it again. People repeating movements, same gestures, same timing. And every now and then, I hear it. That same music, slightly slower than it should be. And I catch myself wondering how many people are actually leaving those parties, and how many are just stepping out for a moment before going right back in. And honestly, I don't go to crowded celebrations anymore, because I don't think you get warned twice. Story 3. It wasn't the noise that bothered me that night. It was what happened when the noise stopped. Because for a moment, everything went completely still. And that's when I realized something was watching. My name's Caleb Morris, and this happened during a Cinco de Mayo street parade in El Paso. One of those events where the entire downtown fills up, music echoing from every corner, people shoulder to shoulder, colors everywhere, everything loud enough that you can't hear your own thoughts. It started exactly like that. Crowded, chaotic, normal. At first, nothing seemed wrong. I was walking with a couple friends, moving through the street, stopping for food, watching the dancers pass by. The kind of night where you don't really pay attention to details, just the energy. But then, I noticed something small. A dancer in one of the groups, wearing a traditional costume, bright colors, face painted, moving with the rest. Except, his steps didn't match the music. Not slightly off, completely off. I frowned. "You see that guy?" I asked. My friend glanced over. "Looks fine to me," he said. I didn't argue, but I kept watching. The dancer moved again. Same pattern, same exact sequence of steps, repeated. My chest tightened just a little. "Okay, that's weird," I whispered. I tried to ignore it, focus on everything else. But the more I watched, the more I saw it. Not just him, others, scattered in the crowd, people repeating movements, same gestures, same timing, like they were stuck on a loop. The music kept playing, loud, upbeat, but something about it felt slower now, heavier, like it was dragging everything down with it. I shook my head slightly. "Maybe I'm just tired," I muttered. Then the music stopped. Not gradually, instantly. Complete silence, the kind that feels wrong. My chest tightened immediately. The entire crowd froze, not paused, froze. Mid-step, mid-motion, like someone hit pause on everything. My breath caught. "What?" I whispered. I looked around. No one was moving. No one was reacting. Just still. And then I heard it. Not music, not voices. Something else. A low hum coming from somewhere above. I slowly looked up. The string flags hanging across the street. They weren't moving, but they were vibrating. Slightly, like something was passing through them. My chest tightened more. "No," I whispered. Then one person moved. Just one. A man standing a few feet away. He turned his head, slowly, toward me. My breath caught. His eyes locked onto mine. And then he stepped forward. Everything else stayed frozen. My chest tightened hard. "Hey," I said, my voice barely steady. He didn't respond, just kept walking toward me, slow, controlled. I stepped back instinctively. "What's going on?" I asked. No answer. He stopped a few feet away, tilted his head slightly. "You noticed," he said. My stomach dropped. "Noticed what?" I asked. His expression didn't change. "You broke the rhythm." My chest tightened painfully. "What does that mean?" He didn't answer, just stepped aside slightly and gestured behind me. I turned slowly, and that's when I saw it. At the far end of the street, something standing above the crowd, not on the ground, above them. Tall, still, its shape unclear, like it wasn't fully there. My breath caught. "What is that?" I whispered. The man spoke again. "It watches the pattern." My chest tightened harder. "What pattern?" He didn't respond, just looked at me. Then the hum grew louder. The air felt heavier, pressing. I looked back at the crowd, still frozen, still mid-motion. Then, slowly, they started moving again, but not normally, in sync, perfectly synchronized. Every step, every turn, every gesture, identical. My stomach dropped. "No," I whispered. The music came back, louder than before, deeper. But now, it matched their movements exactly. Perfect rhythm, perfect timing. My chest felt tight. "This isn't real," I whispered. The man leaned slightly closer. "You're out of sync," he said. My breath caught. "What?" He didn't answer, just stepped back. Then, suddenly, he was gone, blended into the crowd, or maybe disappeared completely. I couldn't tell. I stepped back again, trying to move through the crowd, but their movements blocked me, not intentionally, but their patterns created walls. I couldn't get through. My breathing got faster. "Move," I muttered, but they didn't. Then, the music shifted again, slower, heavier, and the synchronized movement changed, adjusted, like it was correcting itself. My chest tightened hard. "No," I whispered. I tried to match their movement, just slightly, adjust my steps, and suddenly there was space. I moved forward, one step, then another. My stomach dropped. "It's controlling this," I whispered. I kept moving, matching the rhythm, staying in sync, and slowly I made it through, out of the crowd, into an empty street. Silence, complete silence. I stopped, turned back. The parade, gone. No people, no music, nothing. Just an empty street. My chest loosened slightly. Okay, I whispered. I walked away, fast, didn't look back, didn't stop, just kept moving until everything felt normal again. The next day, I tried to find anything about the parade, photos, videos, anything, but there was nothing, no posts, no recordings, no evidence it even happened. But sometimes, when I'm in crowded places, I feel it again. That rhythm, that pattern, people moving just slightly too in sync. And I catch myself adjusting my steps without thinking, just to fit in, just to stay unnoticed. Because something tells me, once you fall out of that pattern, it sees you. And honestly, I don't think I got out of it completely. I think I just learned how to move the way it expects. And I don't know what happens if I ever stop.